Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cop Talk. I'm Kevin Shorter, your host. I'm here with my co-host, Captain Ed Mammon.
Hello, WABC listeners, viewers. Today we have a very interesting guest from the state of New Jersey.
How you doing?
New Jersey's in the house. Our guest today is Rick Vanderclock. Rick is a former corporal for the Wayne, New Jersey Police Department, and also he's with the National Law Enforcement Liaison for the magazine, right?
Blue Magazine.
Blue
Yes.
Magazine. Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Rick, why don't you tell everyone about yourself?
Well, I was I did 25 years in law enforcement in the state of New Jersey. I started in a very small town called Pequannock, and I worked there for about 5 years, and then I transferred to Wayne, where I finished out my career. I did 20 years there, doing a total of 25. I retired in 2022, and I spent the entire portion of my career working on the road and being on the streets. I wasn't ever promoted. I never got put inside. I never had a detective's position. I was always on the road doing first responder things for my entire career, and I have a huge experience in a lot of things to do with traffic, domestic violence, narcotics, theft, assaults, car accidents, a lot of those things. I dealt with that for my whole career.
Now, where are you originally from? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Wayne, New Jersey.
Wayne, New Jersey.
Where I worked.
Okay. And that's when you...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to school there, lived there, still live there, worked there. It was fun.
Cap?
What's the size of the Wayne PD?
Police officers, there's about 117 sworn personnel and maybe about 25 to 30 civilian.
Yeah. What year did you go there?
I started in Wayne in 2002, 2003, and I retired in 22.
Just about 20 years?
Did 20 years, yeah. Yep.
How did the ranks go? You were a corporal?
Yeah.
So how did the ranks go?
So patrolman, and then corporal, then sergeant, lieutenant, captain, chief.
Is it test for corporal or?
Yeah. No, you just get appointed corporal after years in service.
So if you want to become a Wayne police officer, you have to take a test for Wayne, or is there a New Jersey state test?
You have to apply to the town, and
Okay.
it's called a chief's test in New Jersey. So it's not civil service. Some towns are civil service and some are not. Some are chiefs.
Chief's test. Okay.
Yeah, and I know that the recruitments are the numbers are very low nowadays. They used to give a test every 3 years for Wayne. Now I think they're doing them every year, or even less, because they're getting very little to anybody coming in there. Very low numbers.
It's a problem throughout the country right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's law enforcement has been decimated over the last 5, 6, 8 years. I don't know how long it's been now. It's horrible the way they're treating everybody. And what do they expect? I mean, not only do you take a job, I think it's set up for failure. They have cameras on you 24 hours a day. It's just a very, very hard job. Complaints can come in. They can take complaints at any time from any person. Unsubstantiated things sometimes, and they put a lot of cops through a lot of misery.
Right.
So it's tough.
They entertain any bullshit that comes in.
Bullshit is constant, yes, of course.
And also, legislation has been enacted that hinder the police. I don't know about Wayne, but in New York, the New York City Council has created legislation that really hinders the New York City Police Department.
I know.
Has that happened out there where you are?
Yeah, of course. Everything just seems to be geared more towards the criminals and the people and not law enforcement. And it's making our job very difficult to do.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, now, is there a commissioner or just the chief of department?
Chief of police over there.
Okay, then that's...
Yeah, no commissioner.
And he's appointed by the mayor, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
And the mayor in Wayne is every 4 years?
Every 4 years.
Okay.
Now, you mentioned the magazine. I see you holding it. Could you hold it up and show it to our viewing audience?
So
Looks like a nice magazine.
yeah, this is 2 of them. We had President Trump on our cover last year. We got an opportunity to interview him, which was interesting. It happened to be the same day that he got his first indictment from in New York City here, the same exact day. And we thought he would cancel his appointment with us, and he didn't. He actually still did the interview with us, and then jumped on his plane and flew up here to New York for the Alvin Bragg thing. And our latest one, we focused the magazine on the New Jersey State Police, being that it's the largest police agency in the state of New Jersey. We met up with the colonel, and he gave us full access to the state police, all the different agencies, different divisions, South Jersey. We went to the academy. We went down to Trenton to see their headquarters. It was really cool. So we got to see the helicopter guys. We got the whole tour. It was really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You know, I used to teach at Brookdale Community College. I was teaching criminal investigation, and I was amazed at the number of police agencies in the state of New Jersey. They were all over the place. Some of them in Miles Square.
You should look at Bergen County. I think 60-something towns, and most of them have their own police departments. You know, some departments have 10, 12 guys on them.
Yeah, wow.
You know?
I think they have more police agencies in one state than any other state in the country.
Could be true. Wouldn't surprise me.
Franklin Lakes is near Wayne, right?
Right next door.
Right
yeah.
next door. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
What was your most interesting assignment?
I was assigned to patrol for my whole career, and I saw some crazy things. I saw an airplane crash actually happen in front of me. I had unfortunately, the worst thing that I ever witnessed in my career was watching a man that was involved in a car accident burn to death. He got entrapped in a vehicle after a collision, and he couldn't get out of the car, and the car caught on fire. And I just watched this man burn alive. It was horrific. Worst thing I ever saw.
how long ago was that?
That happened in October of 2015.
Oh, wow.
So
What happened to you?
after witnessing that, I had trouble sleeping, and the smell of the watching this man burn. And what I remember now is every time I cook grilled chicken on my grill in my backyard, that reminds me of what this person looked like when I saw a man burning alive. It was horrific, very bad. Takes a long time to get over that, and it never really goes away. You know, you just kind of always remember it. It's there.
Did that cooking of the chicken set off any kind of relapse?
I just always look at the skin of the chicken, and it kind of just reminds me of one point that I saw with this man burning. So yeah, it never goes away. It's been 10 years, and I still remember it, like, all the time. You know? Yeah.
How did the department treat you?
Horribly. Horrible. My police department did not treat me correctly. The chief of police at that time thought that it was PTSD was some made-up medical thing. Didn't believe it. Thought that it was not true. And I went through a lot of problems with my police department from going through that PTSD incident. It was very, very hard on me, my family. Hard.
Have they since changed their attitude?
No, not really. I was able to finish my career. I finished out my time, but they didn't make it easy on me. No.
Rick, do you have a PBA union out there?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a PBA.
Okay.
PBA Local 136 for Wayne.
And Local 136, what other police departments are under?
We have our own local for Wayne.
Oh, it's your own?
Yeah.
Local. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a regionalized one.
Active and retirees?
Yeah. Well, it's if you retire, you go to Local 600 in the PBA, which is a retired local.
Oh, okay.
But the active guys are, in Local 136.
Okay.
Well, this PTSD thing, I think, is very serious because it's a common problem and it's not always well treated. That's why I think suicides are so high in police agencies.
Well, yeah. I mean, I after I retired, I reached out to the Blue Magazine, and I know that they have a charity called Moment of Silence, and that has to do with stopping and preventing police officers from committing suicide. And I'm going to tell you a fact that, and you probably don't even know this, but in the United States, a police officer commits suicide every 72 hours. One officer every 72 hours. And that's a big number. And a lot of people have no idea about that. And it's something that needs more attention. We have to try to stop that. Police officers feel that they don't really have any place to go or a place or someone to turn to for when they have issues with PTSD, as just one example.
Well, the New York City Police Department got involved with that some years ago. They have a fairly elaborate program to treat people if they come forward with their problems. The problem is cops don't like to come forward.
That's true. Because they get it's supposed to be confidential and stuff like that, but things like that never stay quiet.
That's
so
true.
People are afraid to open their mouth, and then the few guys that do open their mouth, and then they see how the department treats them and how it goes for that particular officer, and then that makes them not open their mouth. Yeah. So it's like a problem that's going on amongst police departments, but NYPD and very large police departments handle it better. I'm talking about smaller departments, mostly, meaning 100 guys and even less, because the chief in the department in Wayne, where I worked, didn't agree, just thought it was bullshit. And I had to go through this whole thing with him, and it was horrible. And other departments, if the chief is more forgiving and more understanding about mental illness, they treat their men differently. So it's not standard across the board. Every department kind of has their own way to handling it. It's something that we need to address, I think, nationally for all law enforcement.
I agree. We agree. NYPD just had 2 police officers the last 4 weeks, within the last couple of weeks.
Commit suicide, I know.
2 suicides.
It's way too much. And, I think back to look at NYPD guys, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago? People were dumping buckets of water on their heads.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and what are these guys expected to do? Just stand there?
Yeah.
I mean, how are you supposed to do your job if that's the environment and where we work? How are you supposed to do your job?
Right. True.
Getting back to your magazine, when did you start the magazine?
I'm not the founder. The magazine was started 17 years ago by Daniel DeValle, and he's been doing it for 16 years, and we've had a very nice run.
Can people subscribe to that? Do they have to pay, or is it a free publication?
We hand them out at local police departments throughout the state of New Jersey and also in New York City. But people can order a magazine and it will be delivered to them, and there's a fee for that.
Well, where does your funding come from?
Just from sponsors throughout the magazine. We have a lot of doctors that we work with and car dealerships and stuff like that. So they give us the money, we print the magazine, and we hand it out to cops for free.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Where is the magazine based?
The office is located in Haledon, New Jersey.
Okay. Is that North Jersey?
North Jersey, yeah.
Okay.
It's about, depending on traffic, it's about an hour outside New York.
Oh, okay.
Give or take. Yeah, not too far. Passaic County.
Can you give us some experiences with the magazine?
Well, the magazine, we like to say that we're not a political magazine, but we have no choice now but to become political. And that's why we backed President Trump, because he has been the best president for law enforcement, hands down. And this country is at a point right now where we believe that we have no choice but to support and back Donald Trump and the way law enforcement has been being treated here. We have a huge issue with illegal immigration and the border. And look at NYPD, just had that issue where a woman was burned on the train in New York City. This stuff has to stop. I mean, that doesn't even look like New York City when you see that stuff happening here. People can't believe it. It's crazy. So we have to get back to normal behavior in this country.
Right. Law enforcement for sure backed Donald Trump.
Big. They backed him big.
And
yeah.
rightfully so. The first time, the second time,
and the third
time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But here we are, and thank God he's back.
That issue should become a collector's issue.
I'll tell you, yeah. There's not a lot of these around, but when you have them, you hold on to them because they're hard to find.
I hope he saw it.
Yeah, he did. We had an opportunity to see him at Trump Bedminster, the golf course in New Jersey, and we were able to leave some magazines there. So we know that he saw it, he liked it, and we were supposed to have another interview with him at some point, but depending on scheduling and stuff like that, we'll see.
Now he's going to be busy.
Well, he's always busy, but he's going to be busier
exactly,
for sure.
Busier. He's always busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he sleeps. President Trump.
The man's he's an amazing person for what he's overcome. Really, it's really an amazing story. So proud of him.
Yeah, we actually interviewed former NYPD detectives. Keith Schiller, who was on our show, he'll be aired in a couple of weeks, and he was actually Trump's bodyguard for 20 years and then went to the White House with him. And he's a friend of ours, and I know him from the NYPD. So his show will be coming out soon as well. But awesome. All good stuff when it comes to law enforcement and President Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. What are your plans for the future?
Well, we want to, after President Trump takes office, we're going to do a magazine on all of the influential people in the cabinet, starting with probably the new, if he's confirmed, Kash Patel for FBI director. We want to interview him maybe Pam Bondi, and we're going to do a like a whole story on all of the people that he's picking in his cabinet. That's going to be one of the next things that we're doing.
You know, getting back to what he's going to do, as you know, he said he's going to deport all the illegals.
Yeah.
How does that go over with the police in New Jersey in terms of will they be cooperating? Or
well, New Jersey is a Democratic state, and I would imagine there's going to be some type of resistance at the state, but we'll see how it goes. I could tell you, you know, majority of the law enforcement men that and women that I speak to are fully support the closing of the border and getting things back to normal. Crime has very just slowly and consistently has been increasing, and the job is getting very hard for law enforcement to do their job correctly. And hopefully President Trump coming in there is going to make a big change day one. Tom Homan with the border czar, I know that he's excited, and he's going to have a very difficult job, but we're going to support him as well because we have no choice. We have to get things fixed quickly.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, it can't be done without the help of local police, because the local police are usually the first to come in contact with these people.
Of course.
You know, if it's driving traffic violations, aided cases, domestic disputes. So the federal government is going to have to rely very much on local police. And the local police governments, the governments where the local police are, they need to cooperate. And there is talk of certain governments at a local level not cooperating.
I know.
In violation of federal law.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, it is a violation of federal law. And I know Mr. Holman has made some statements that he's going to hold you know, politicians accountable if they resist or interfere or however they do it. And we're going to have to see how it plays out. But this is something that the entire country should support this. You know, there's nothing wrong with coming into the country as long as you do it properly and legally. That is, there's never been an issue with that. So I don't understand why it's so bad now. You know, let's just get it back to normal and get things under control.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Who's the prosecutor in Wayne, New Jersey? Is there a prosecutor's office?
Prosecutor's office, yeah, her name's Valdez, Carmela Valdez.
How is she?
Good.
Yeah. Is, now, is that just for Wayne, or is it Bergen
Passaic County.
Oh, Passaic County.
Passaic County.
Okay, so it's not Bergen, it's Passaic.
Nope.
Okay.
Bergen is next to us.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, things are, you know, pretty good over there. You know, things are going okay.
I mean, traditionally, New Jersey's always been a good state in regards to pro-law enforcement, and, you know, pretty much most of the prosecutors, you know, I don't know about today, but I know a few years back they were good.
It's changing.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's getting harder across the board. But for the most part, yeah, it's not terrible.
Like everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Getting back to your magazine, what's the circulation numbers?
We have the magazine comes out in print 6 times per year, and then we also have online versions that come out every other month or every month. So when we print them, there's about 15 to 25,000 that we print that we distribute to police departments throughout New Jersey, New York, and Florida. If you want to order one, you could go on our websites and subscribe and get one sent to you. And the magazine also has a social media following on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Okay. Well, hopefully you'll put our interview into the magazine.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Can you tell our audience again how they can subscribe to the magazine, Blue Magazine?
You could go on bluemagazine.com. There's a link on there where you can subscribe. And also, and more importantly, was our charity that I wanted to mention, Moment of Silence. We have a website. It's called mosdonate.org, which is Moment of Silence, mosdonate.org. And we ask for $10.13 a month to support and keep our charity going, which is for police officer suicide. Excuse me, police officer suicides. $10.13 a month, because 1013 means police officer needs help.
In Jersey, that's the New York City code.
It's
Copycats.
we copy because New York takes everything first, you know.
1013 is the most important call in the police radio.
That's why we ask for $10.13 a month. It's not a lot of money. It's like a pizza or less. Yeah. Or maybe here in New York, it's half a slice. Who knows? You know, in the city.
It's also a 1013 organization.
Yeah.
Usually it's the New York City Police, retirees, and active people.
Well, that's a big organization down in Florida, correct?
Yes.
1013 organization.
Yeah.
Various chapters.
Yep.
I think February 13th, they have something coming up in Florida, Delray Beach area, February 13th
Really?
for NYPD, 1013, organization.
Yeah.
Now, any other organizations that you belong to in Jersey? FOP?
I'm just a PBA member. That's it.
Okay.
I've been working with, I'm not members, but, we work with other charities to support mental health. A lot of them. We have Brothers Before Others. We have Reps for Responders. A couple of ones I could think of where we always support their dinners and they come to ours and we just try to keep everyone doing good for law enforcement.
How about Westchester Blue? Ever hear of them?
I haven't personally, no.
We've had Matt Frank is the president of that organization. Okay. And he's also a friend, but it's very similar organization like yours, but up in Westchester.
Yeah, I mean, we network with a lot of agencies and a lot of organizations. I just can't think of some off the top of my head, but we're always looking for people that want to help and support our charity and the magazine.
Right,
of course.
Well,
that's how we survive.
How can people reach you if they want to get involved? What's your contact information?
Online, bluemagazine.com. And Instagram, and also on TikTok. You can get us on there, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm very impressed with you and the fact that you overcome PTSD.
Thank you.
Because I know it's a very serious problem. Not too many people can say that it worked out that well. I know how serious it is, and there's been quite a few suicides resulting from that.
It's a thing that there needs to be more awareness for PTSD, especially in law enforcement, because cops. Here's a fact: the average person sees maybe 4 traumatic events in their entire lifetime, where a police officer will see 800 in their career on average. So a normal person is only 4 and a cop is seeing 800 traumatic incidents in their career only. So look at the numbers.
Yeah.
So these guys need, and women, they need some place or some organization to help them when they deal with these crazy incidents. And the incidents are getting worse. Yeah. Imagine the cops that had to respond to that woman that was set on fire. And it's crazy on the train.
Yeah.
These are things that they don't teach you in the police academy that you're going to experience one day.
Rick, you mentioned a plane crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
I happened to not be working that day, but there was a bad storm in Wayne, and I was in my personal vehicle, and I happened to be driving to my parents' house, and it was foggy out, and I looked up in the sky, and I saw an orange glow, and as a cop, I thought it was a transformer exploding on a pole. You see the sparks in the sky sometimes, and it makes like that glow. That's what it kind of looked like to me, and that's what I thought it was. And I looked over, and at that last second, I looked to the right. There was an airplane. It was inverted upside down, and it was private airplane. Like a small one, yeah. But it was upside down, and it landed on its roof and was sliding across the roadway in front of me with sparks, and it was on fire. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I looking at here? You couldn't believe it. It just happened like that, And as I look over, it slides across the road, and it comes to stop in a driveway, and it explodes. Oof. And the flames go up 70, 80 feet higher than the house. And I jumped out of my car, and I tried to protect the scene as best as I could. And people were coming out of their homes, and I'm like, hey, wait, police, get back, And that was crazy. And I was looking at this fireball, and I'm saying, oh my God, how many people were in this plane? I couldn't believe it that it just happened. And I saw this, and it turned out there was just the pilot. It was one person that was killed in this plane crash. But it was something crazy to actually witness it happen.
In a moment's notice, you took action.
Yeah,
and
took action.
went on duty.
And just like that, I was working.
Yeah, exactly. Went on duty. Well,
that's law
24/7.
enforcement. You're always
True.
you always have to be prepared to do your
True.
job at any moment.
Yeah.
And when a plane lands in front of you and crashes, that's what happens. But
Yeah.
I did my job that day.
Now you still live in the area?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
how is the new generation of the Wayne Police Department?
Very different. Very different.
All over the place.
I
really.
see them. Yeah, we laugh sometimes. I look at them. I see them on the street, and I keep thinking they're as young as my children now. Some of the new guys, and it just looks weird. But
Yeah.
it's the cycle of life here, I guess. The circle of life. We go through it.
When I retired 25 years ago, they was called Generation X.
Yeah.
They're probably now Generation Y or Z.
Yeah, I don't know what it is now. And you're out 25 years, so that's amazing. God bless you for. You're a person to collect their pension all these 25 years is beautiful. That's the way to do it.
Beat the system.
Yeah,
over
you got to
20.
beat the system.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, I'm only up to 12.
That's great.
So hopefully I make 20.
Yeah.
God willing. Same thing for you.
Thank you.
Cap?
Well, I think this was a very interesting interview, especially the part about PTSD.
Yeah.
I take my hat off to you that you were able to deal with it and overcome it.
Thank you.
And, you're an inspiration to others who are going through it. And by the way, the term originated in World War I when it was called shell shock.
Really?
Right. And there was a famous movie where the French army, one of the soldiers was actually shell shocked. And this general tells the sergeant, there's no such thing as shell shocked, which reminds me of what your chief did.
Yes.
And then later on, it turned into something else, and then it eventually morphed into PTSD. But it's all the same.
It's all the same. And if that general back in those days had a little bit more knowledge of it, he would know that there is something called shell shock and that PTSD is something that does exist. And just people having a better understanding of what it is and how it affects people and how to get treatment early to some of these officers will definitely stop them from committing suicide. And it's just something that needs a little bit more awareness and serious people to look at it and try to make the right moves for these officers.
Very well put, Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank our guest today, Rick Vanderclock, and former corporal for the Wayne, New Jersey Police Department, and also with the Blue Magazine, liaison with the Blue Magazine. And once again, how could they subscribe?
BlueMagazine.com. And for our charity, it's called Moment of Silence. MOSDonate.org is our website. And there's a link on there and you can make a donation or however much you'd like to do. No amount is too small.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening today. If you like what you hear, you can subscribe to Cop Talk. You could also follow us on X, which is formerly Twitter, at Cop Talk WABC. That's at Cop Talk WABC. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America. God bless law enforcement throughout the world. And God bless our U.S. military.
And you're also on YouTube.
Here we go. Thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
Until next time, be safe.